Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Coming up today on HHS In Depth, the Homestead Theater Department debuts its final musical in the current Homestead Auditorium. We'll tell you all about this year's show, Newsies.
Plus, many Homestead students participate in athletics, whether for the Spartans or other leagues. We'll bring you a story over the people that make sure each game is played, the game officials. Those stories and more straight ahead. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nisha Lalria.
And I'm Carly Flanagan. And Nisha, this is our final time anchoring for HHS In Depth.
I know it's weird to think that just 3 years ago we anchored together for the first time.
For the very first time, and now it's our last. Well, for the final time in over 50 years, the Homestead Theater Department will be performing their yearly musical in the current auditorium. To get you ready for this weekend's production of Newsies, here's HHS In Depth reporter Cora Shaw.
It's that time of the year again for Homestead's theater department to get back on stage. This year, the students are performing Newsies, an action-packed show to remember.
Newsies is the story of, it's in 1899, it's a true story, it's based on newsboys. They were making like bottom of the barrel, lowest minimum wage, and their boss raises the price of the newspapers they're selling, and so they go on strike. So Jack Kelly, he's the leader of the newsboys who basically start the whole strike. He gets them all motivated.
My character is Catherine Plummer. She is a reporter for the New York Sun, and she follows and publishes the story of the Newsies when no one else will.
Jack and Catherine, they really don't know each other, and then over time, she starts getting more interested in his story, and they basically start falling for each other in a weird way, and it's just like star-crossed lovers.
Newsies is the last production that will take place in the current Homestead Auditorium, so it is an important show for both the performers and everybody that comes to see it.
Newsies is an important story for everyone because it's the discovery of sort of a found family, of fighting for your rights in a situation that did happen, was real. And it's important to me because in real life, these people that I grow to know and love in the show are my friends. They're my family, and I love them. And it's really nice to be able to just re-experience that, I guess.
People should come see it because, well, it's the last one we're going to do in this auditorium, so we're trying to make it the best musical that this place has seen probably for a long time. And it's a really fun story. There's a lot of great dancing, there's a lot of good songs, all the characters are super interesting. It's probably one of the greater musicals of the modern generation.
Tickets are $15 and will be sold at the door. Performances will be tonight and tomorrow at 7 p.m. as well as Sunday at 2 p.m. Come out and support the cast and crew of Newsies. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Cora Shaw.
Thanks, Cora. The Indiana High School Athletics Association is the arbiter of interscholastic competition among public and private high schools in Indiana. The officials in the IHSAA have a very important job of making the calls at every sporting event. What they do is the most important task of every game and is much more complex than one might think.
So I actually have a few roles. I officiate on the field for baseball games for high school, varsity baseball and JV. I also assign baseball for a lot of schools in the area, including Homestead. And the last thing that I do is training for officials. That's both new officials coming in and our current officials. I keep them up to date on the new rules, how we apply the different rules, and talk about different scenarios or situations.
I'm a high school football and wrestling referee. I've done wrestling for 22 years and football now for 13. I basically run meetings and I take phone calls, I help new officials, I mentor. My favorite part of that is the mentoring side of it, probably because I'm a teacher.
Many officials work almost every night that their sport is in season. With the responsibility of making correct calls, they also have to stay up to date on new rules and enforcements when officiating. Spectators, players, and even coaches that heckle the officials are becoming an issue towards the IHSAA.
With officials having to deal with disrespectful patrons, they opt out of continuing the position, making it much harder for sports to find people to officiate the games.
There is a shortage of officials in Indiana, so they're doing a lot of campaigning now to get officials signed up, get a mentorship program going. It is difficult, especially for younger officials, because you do deal with some, unruly fans and coaches, but, the benefits, you are helping out the sport, you're making a lot of pocket money on the side, and you get to be around a sport that you pretty much should enjoy. If you're doing it, you should enjoy that sport.
As we're getting older, we got guys that are retired and getting out, so we need more of the younger generation to be able to step up and kind of fill in for those guys that are. Males, females, we use them all. So, we need gymnastics, we need swimming, football, baseball, all the sports, track and field. We could use anybody we can get.
Although the fans may be discouraging, there are many benefits to being an official. After working for several years and gaining experience, the best officials from each year are chosen to officiate the state finals for their sport, a huge accomplishment for some. To become an official, the rules are simple.
The IHSAA has a real nice initiative of giving free licenses to anybody that wants to start officiating. They really just need to go to the IHSAA website, and there's an officials tab on there, and it walks them through how to sign up. They hook them up with a local mentor. It's really a truly rewarding profession if you can handle it, if you can get through it, and most can. We just want people to continue to try, give it the effort, and it always will get better.
On top of all the officiating duties, all officials agree that there is one thing that is the most influential part of the job.
One of the most important things that we do as high school officials is we understand that we have a role in education-based athletics. It's not just go out and call them ball strike, fair foul, safe out. It also means that as we go out in the field, we work with the coaches and we make sure we display appropriate adult behavior. In fact, it's a great way to be a positive example and influence on the players in showing them the appropriate way to handle conflict resolution. Every call I make makes somebody happy, it makes somebody mad. But to realize that there's only myself and my partner, the only two people probably watching the game that doesn't care who wins or loses. But our focus is to make sure we get in the right position, we make the best call we can, and we interact with the coaches in a positive way.
If you would like to become an official, you can check the IHSAA website. And to all spectators, players, and coaches, remember that the officials are people as well, and there is no reason to be disrespectful towards them. Be sure to thank them for all their hard work. On behalf of Homestead, we thank you, officials, for everything that you do.
We've had some sunny and warm days as of recent, which is definitely a nice change after the constant cold weather from the previous months. However, will we keep this warm weather or something else in store? Stay tuned, I'll be back to answer just that with the forecast over the next couple of days.
Attention seniors. The time has come to submit your pictures for the slideshow that plays annually at graduation. Send in any pictures that showcase fun memories that you have from elementary to high school. If you would like to see your photos in the graduation slideshow, check your email to access the Google Sheet link where you can put as many photos as you'd like. Make sure to have all your photos in by the May 20th deadline, as there will be no extensions.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth. Any girl planning to run cross-country in the fall should attend the call-out meeting for the 2022 cross-country season in the seminar room on May 19th at 3 p.m. The meeting will end at 3:30. Please plan to attend if you're interested in being a part of the team. They will cover expectations of the training over the summer.
Attention students. Time is running out to purchase a yearbook. Please go to yearbookforever.com to make your purchase for $50.
Seniors. This is just a reminder that 1 week from today is the deadline to submit photos for a chance to be included in the senior slideshow that plays at graduation. Check your Canvas email for more information.
And now here's a rundown of clubs meeting at Homestead over the next week. Euchre Club meets today after school in room 212. This will be our last meeting of the school year. Players of all experience levels are welcome. Bring a friend or come alone. Hope to see you there. The last K-pop club of the year is today in room 924 after school. Young Americans for Freedom will have their last meeting of the year on Monday, May 16th, right after school in room 718, Mr. Biles' room. They'll be discussing current events, politics, and will be selecting the club leaders for next year. Join them right after school on Monday. And finally, Basket Weaving Club's last meeting of the year will be Thursday, May 19th from 2:45 to 3:30 in room 204, Miss Lamont's room.
The academic Super Bowl competition season has come to a close. At the area competition on April 19th, Homestead scored impressive results. The social studies team placed second, the English team placed third, and the math team earned first place. This qualified the math team to go to the state competition, which was held at Purdue University in West Lafayette this past Saturday. The team placed third in the state by answering 21 of 25 questions correctly. Congratulations and great job by the Super Bowl team members.
Many students at Homestead have various talents they use both in and out of school. Looking to enter the video production industry, Grayson Lehman has accelerated his skills behind the camera. And now is HHS In Depth reporter Joel McChesney to tell you more about Grayson's endeavors.
One student at Homestead has taken his video production skills to a professional level. Grayson Lehman recently partnered up with a former Homestead student who started his own video production business.
I think the first time that Derek reached out to me had nothing to do with Sunspace, but eventually it led down the path to him asking me to join the team.
Sunspace is a video production company. We're not an ad agency, but we do a lot of brand films, and we just create projects for brands to represent themselves and to make it clear to their audience what their mission is.
As with any skill, Grayson has invested many hours into improving his craft and is constantly looking for new opportunities.
So as an independent video producer, I wear a lot of hats, but in the future I would like to pursue being a director of photography, which is just behind the camera and working on lighting. My role at Sunspace right now is a camera operator and a director of photography, which helps me build my foundation for my career ahead of me.
Grayson has gotten the opportunity to get involved with video production both inside and outside of school.
Homestead Media has given me the platform to connect with my peers and bounce ideas off of one another, which has really taken my work to the next level. If you're out there looking for some career experience, I would really recommend the Homestead internship program. I intern at Punch Films currently, and they have really just given me the skill set to excel. If you're interested in getting into the video side of things or radio or anchoring at the news station, I would really just recommend getting involved at Homestead Media. They just have a great program to really enhance your skills and just prepare you for the future.
If you're interested in checking out some of Grayson's work, be sure to follow him on Instagram at Grayson Lehman. For HHS In Depth, I'm Joel McChesney.
Thanks, Joel. Another one of our talented students here at Homestead is an aspiring musician, Elena Matyas. In now is HHS In Depth reporter Cameron Elder to give us a look at Elena and her music career.
Elena Matyas, a student at Homestead High School, has been singing nearly her entire life. But her true passion for making music didn't start until her grandfather got her a ukulele. Now, Elena makes music using the guitar and piano.
When I write a song, I usually I start with a chord progression because that helps me come up with a melody. And once I have the melody, I kind of think of what I want the song to be about, and then I start just kind of coming up with lyrics. Sometimes I'll write a list of things I want to say, and then I'll start writing the lyrics, and then I'll put it all together into one cohesive song. For me, music is a form of self-expression, so sometimes it's harder to communicate feelings, and through songwriting, that's my way of communicating how I feel.
Don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna leave.
My hope is that through music, I can help people think more optimistically or view the world with a more positive mindset. I'm working on an album. This album is going to be made up of songs that I've written throughout the years, just about how I'm feeling or experiences I've had, and good and bad, because it's just a way that I can express myself.
Elena currently has some of her music on YouTube and an old album on Spotify. She plans to continue to post and expand her reach on both.
I have a very musical family, and so my mom has been helping me through all this, and she's been connecting me with things through her friends in the recording studio, and she helped me put out my first album. She's always been very supportive and helping me along the way. My hope is that in the future I can make songwriting and producing kind of my main career and just make my money and my living off of that, because it's something I really enjoy.
Time moves so slow, but every minute passes.
I think it's safe to say we're all excited to see where her music career goes. I'm Cameron Elder reporting for HHS In Depth.
Thanks, Cameron. Well, this week's weather felt more like July instead of May.
So what does the weekend have in store for us?
Thomas Lazar joins us now to let us know.
Thank you, Carly and Nisha. The warm weather is still kicking today with a high of 84 degrees, with the skies being nice and clear to let the sun shine. It will get a little cooler later with the low being 60 degrees. So if you have any big plans tonight, the weather will not be a stopping factor. Sadly, going into tomorrow, we are looking to have thunderstorms that will happen throughout the day and into the night. So if you have any events planned, it will probably be best to bring your handy-dandy raincoat. Then Sunday we'll have no showers during the day, but we'll have some going into the night. And temps will decrease a little with a high of 77 and a low of 53. With summer getting closer and closer, it seems we have finally transitioned out of the cold weather season, though we will still have to deal with those pesky rain showers every once in a while. When next week continue to uphold this kind of weather, I'll be back with next week's outlook to answer just that.
All right, thank you, Thomas.
Next in sports, it was a busy week for our spring sports teams here at Homestead.
Anthony Gary is in next with the Locker Report. Stay with us.
Next week on HHS In Depth, reporter Carly Flanagan sits down with Mrs. Summers to reflect on the past school year and her first year of being principal. Catch this story and more next week.
Welcome back to the Locker Report. I'm Anthony Gary. The postseason is slowly creeping up on most spring sports, and some teams got some quality wins, starting with the baseball team who, at the time of this recording, leads number 5 Carroll 2-0 in a 3-game series. In Game 1, Homestead beat Carroll 12-5 at Parkview Field. Braden Quintana went 3 for 4 at the plate with 2 RBI and a run scored. Brendan Wiegert had a 3-run no-doubter to blow the game out of the water. Then the pitching duo of Cadence Rango and Jake Goody combined for 12 strikeouts on only 5 hits allowed. Then in Game 2, Griffin Tinkle picked apart Carroll, only giving up 3 hits in 5 innings. He was relieved by Logan Tuttle, who kept it going, striking out 3 in just 2 innings to seal the deal. The softball team beat Manchester Tuesday 2-1. Ava Mejia got the win. Peaching Grace Swanigan had a walk and a double, and Megan Rosenbaum hit an RBI single. The girls play again tomorrow at Warsaw. The boys golf team defeated Carroll on Tuesday 151-163. The Spartans were led by Jack Berta shooting a 35, followed by Ryan Parker with a 36, Cade Cobbler with a 38, and Carson Cabe with a 42. The team competes tomorrow at Noble Hawk. And on Wednesday, the girls tennis team beat Huntington North 5-0 at home. Ellie Cook, Anna Topmiller, and Layla Kelly once again all won singles, and the pairs of Stout Zitlaw and Schilt Blofis each won their matches. The girls compete tomorrow at Carroll. I'm rejoined once again by Noah Lance for part 2 of the IHSAA updates. Noah?
Well, last week I joined to talk about the football sectional realignment, and this week I'm back to tell you all about the 2 new sports that have been added, girls wrestling and boys volleyball.
Probably 20 years ago, there was a move for boys volleyball. Evidently now it is gaining speed. I haven't seen it much here in Fort Wayne, but according to the IHSAA, there's 42 schools that have a club volleyball program of some kind.
And for girls wrestling, in Indiana, girls have been wrestling on the boys' team, but now the girls will get their own team.
Wrestling, we've had girls on our wrestling team, and I think that one is, it says emerging sport, but I think that is a sport that has already been generally accepted because we do have tournaments for girls only. And we've been fortunate that we've had some girls wrestle for us, and they've been pretty good wrestlers.
Even though the IHSAA voted to add boys volleyball and girls wrestling, it will still take some time to implement these new sports.
What schools will have to determine is which direction they want to go as far as hiring staffs for that. I think that's right there in the pipeline. If you read the IHSAA, it's going to take 2 or 3 years to develop the rules for both of these sports, talking with the Coaches Association and National Federation, and then you got to find a place to put it, fall, winter, or spring.
And in the future, there is a possibility that these sports teams will be added to Homestead Athletics.
With these 2, keep our options open, listen. We're big enough that I think we could handle it. So someday down the road, you'll probably see it.
With the IHSAA being open to adding new sports, it is good news for many other club sports here at Homestead.
Thanks, Noah, and I'm definitely excited for the future of Homestead sports following this update. For the Locker Report, I'm Anthony Gary. Thank you to everyone that watched the Locker Report this year, and I cannot wait to do it all again next year. Have a great weekend and stay tuned as Thomas Lazar will have a final check of the weather when we return.
Next week will bring temperatures that are close to what we will have over the weekend, but will not have any going into the 80s. The highs will be mostly in the 70s, and lows being mostly in the 50s, with Tuesday being the odd one out with a high in the high 60s and a low in the high 40s. The sun will be a bit shy, with Monday being mostly sunny and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday being partly cloudy. It doesn't look like we will need coats anymore for a while. We are approaching review week for finals fast, and with this weather pattern, you might be able to study in a nice grass field if it doesn't rain. Summer is truly upon the horizon. Carly, Nisha, back to you.
All right, thank you, Thomas. And thank you for watching today.
Good luck to all of our Homestead athletes and other performers in action this weekend.
Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you back here again next week for the final HHS In Depth episode of the school year.